So it's that time again, your NBA Weekly Recap. Starting things off in Los Angeles, LeBron and the Lakers are on the struggle bus. After what was an excellent start to the season, the Lakers have now lost 6 out of their last 8 games, and JJ Redick is already at a loss for words. And we're not even a third into the season. For goodness sake, just look at his energy and demeanor after their 41-point loss to Miami.
JJ, what's your post-game message after a tough loss like that and kind of on top of some other recent tough losses?
To you or to the team?
Well, we're waiting.
There has to be some ownership.
For a while, LeBron James had looked like he had finally fallen off a cliff, as he had missed 20 straight three-point shots. He did have a bit of a bounce-back game against Miami individually, but again, they also lost by a whopping 41 points, so no real moral victories there. If you ask me, their biggest issue is their lack of chemistry and their lack of energy on the defensive end, as they are ranked 27th overall in defensive rating, which is truly unacceptable when you have a guy like Anthony Davis on the roster. Now let me be clear, that's not a slight against AD, because he's doing his job, but more so, it's a slight against the team leaders, like JJ and LeBron. They're playing the super hot Atlanta Hawks the night I'm recording this, and it'll be tough to get this ship going in the right direction soon, because they also have a very active injury report, with AD, LeBron, and Austin Reeves all on it and in jeopardy of missing some time. Out in the Eastern Conference, the Bucks are starting to hit their stride. Milwaukee is scorching hot, as they've won 9 out of their last 11 games at the time of recording, and they will have played the elite Boston Celtics by the time this video is public. So the update on how that went is currently listed on the screen. This whole turnaround of their season started with their leader, Giannis. Over that stretch of 11 games, he's averaged 33 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists, on an incredible 62% shooting. Things are getting really exciting for the Bucks fans, because now, over that same stretch, Lillard has also found his stride, as he averaged 26 points and 9 assists, while hitting 46% from the field and 41% from deep. This is easily the best this tandem has ever looked ever since Lillard was traded from the Blazers. I brought them up in my latest recap video, but I gotta do it again, because the Orlando Magic are still killing it, as their star, Franz Wagner, is low-key starting to sneak his way into the MVP conversation. They've won 13 out of their last 15 games, but it is worth mentioning that a lot of those victories were against easier matchups. Now they're about to get truly tested, as we'll soon see if they're the real deal, as their next 8 games are against Philly, Phoenix, Milwaukee, OKC, Miami, Boston, Miami again, and New York. Speaking of hot teams, the Atlanta Hawks are on a 5-game winning streak, which may be extended to 6 games depending on what happens the night I'm recording this against the struggling Los Angeles Lakers. All of the data suggests that this team has more success when Trae Young focuses on being a distributor rather than a scorer, and that's what's been working for them over this win streak, as he's averaged only 17 points on 38% shooting over their winning streak. But he's also doing an excellent job of getting everyone involved with 12 assists per game. The Mavericks are having an excellent season, as they're currently 3rd in the Western Conference standings. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving continue to do their thing, but Klay Thompson continues to be one of the most inconsistent players in the entire league. This is what his last 6 games have looked like. Against OKC, he scored 5 points on 1 of 11 shooting. Next game was 19 points on 6 of 15 shooting, then 0 points on 0 of 8 shooting, then 15 points on 5 of 12 shooting, then 4 points on 1 of 5 shooting, and then 11 points on 4 of 9 shooting. He's currently the Mavs' 4th leading scorer, and he's shooting just 38% on the season. To put it simply, this is who Klay is now, He's a very streaky role player whose three-point shooting can win you some specific games, while completely disappearing in many other contests. With that being said, Dallas is still the perfect situation for him, because he's not relied upon as heavily as he was in Golden State, and with scoring weapons like Luka and Kyrie, Klay can afford to be very spotty with his performances. OKC continues to have the best record in the Western Conference, which comes as no surprise as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is once again performing at an MVP level. There isn't a tremendous amount to say about this team that we didn't know about them last year, and I expect them to make plenty of noise when the Western Conference playoffs come around. Nikola Jokic is still standing at the top of the MVP standings according to NBA.com, as he just put up a monstrous triple-double in a loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers, where he had 27 points, 20 rebounds, and 11 assists. On the year, the Joker is absolutely insane, as he is potentially having the most statistically impressive offensive season of all time. So far, he's averaging 29.9 points, 13.4 rebounds, and 10.4 assists, while hitting 56% of his shots and 50% of his three-point shots. But the thing is, his Nuggets have really slowed down this season, as they currently have an 11-9 record, and are currently sitting as the 8th seed in the Western Conference playoffs, which apparently is still enough for him to be standing at the top of the MVP power rankings. Listen, I've expressed my thoughts on this multiple times in the past. I believe that if a player is truly the most valuable or best player in the league, and his team did make the playoffs and he had a major impact on getting them there, then he should be considered for the MVP award. I don't care if a player is the 1st or 8th seed, he should be a contender. What frustrates me is the inconsistency with the voters. Back in 2006, I remember when Kobe Bryant wasn't ever truly considered for the MVP award because his Lakers were usually a 6th or 7th seed, even when he was averaging 35 points per game while being first team all defense and dragging a lacking supporting cast to 45 wins in an extremely tough Western Conference. But again, for so long, the norm was that a guy couldn't be an MVP winner if his team wasn't a top 3 team in the conference. Apparently that logic doesn't apply to Nikola Jokic this season, which I would be okay with. But if that's the case, then why didn't the same thing apply to Luka Doncic last season, when he was averaging 34 points, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds, while his Mavericks were a 5th seed in the Western Conference standings, which is 3 spots ahead of where Nikola Jokic's Nuggets currently are. I just hate the changing narratives, and how sometimes team success matters and other times it doesn't. The NBA Cup is now down to its final 8 teams. On Tuesday, you've got the Orlando Magic up against the Milwaukee Bucks, followed by the Dallas Mavericks up against the OKC Thunder. On Wednesday night, you've got the Atlanta Hawks taking on the New York Knicks, followed up by the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets. Here's a quick look at the current NBA standings. Feel free to pause the video for a longer look. And now here's a look at the latest MVP power rankings. And let me know in the comments section if you agree or disagree with these current power rankings. Thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.